Spencer here with episode 2 of the Handyman Diaries. I am kind of hiding out in the truck right now, taking a break. I'm on a screening job. I've been doing this job for 2 weeks now, in the mornings mainly, and I haven't posted a video about it yet, but I will. So you're gonna see a full video about this. But I do want to show you this awesome setup I've got of reflectors up here to keep the sun out. Okay, just took a quick lunch break and look who I picked up along the way. I'm dropping her at her car, which is like 2 blocks over here. You doing any handyman jobs today, Melissa?
I'm gonna go use my hands to knit for a while.
After I drop her off, I've got to go over to this project where there's a deck that needs help and some shelves that need to be built. So out on the deck, tuning up some boards that were kind of popping out, I got to thinking about what my buddy Deke once said to me. And I think the deal was that I was like working on a sink over at his place or something like that, doing some kind of home repair. And Deke said, you know, I'm not that handy. And that phrase, like describing himself in that way, it's just kind of stuck with me for a long time. In particular, doing this handyman diary, I've been thinking about what it means to be handy. So is the handyman or handy person like simply someone who has a lot of experience with like doing jobs? Or is the handyman or handy person like truly and intrinsically handy? So one online dictionary of ill repute describes the term handy as, and I quote, to be especially useful, often in a particular setting or situation. And I guess I would say that I aim for such usefulness out there on the handyman beat. Alright, so that went okay. You know, the thing with that deck is that it's like a big beast, beautiful deck with an incredible view, but the whole thing is put together with nails. And you know, the deck moves a little bit, the boards move a little bit, and they're all just popping up. So anyway, I screwed a bunch of them down, but you'd have to really replace every single nail with a screw to do that right, and you can't, you know, that would be big. Anyway, the deck's tuned up. Next up is a house actually in the next city over. I had to jump on the highway, and I'm doing a few electrical jobs for these guys. So this is a 12-volt outdoor light setup, and these guys totally planned ahead. They get the award for like advanced planning because they buried the outdoor wire for the lights under their sidewalks and in the stone and whatnot, like way ahead of time. So all I had to do was hook up a few lights. You know, there were like 7 or 8 along the sidewalk and a kind of nice semicircle arc kind of thing. And then I had to bury some wire and run it back to a converter so the 12-volt lights can plug into the house. And you don't always know when a job is going to be like really satisfying or not, but this one was satisfying. It was just kind of nice to get it done and to leave these guys with this new light setup. Plus the people were cool to talk to, and it just made the whole thing a nice job. All right, so that job was a lot of fun. I started out totally failing at putting in a bunch of can lights in the attic, but having talked to the homeowner, he kind of gave me a map of how the soffit system works, and I'm gonna go back and give it another crack. It seems like there is a way to get the can lights in. I've just got to kind of navigate this crazy attic and use the eaves. Anyway, after that, I just put those 12-volt outdoor lights in, and I bet they're gonna look pretty good tonight when it gets dark and they light up. Next up, soccer game. Not a job, soccer game. And I'll be back at it tomorrow. Alright, so I spent the morning working on the screen porch job, which is kind of dragging on, and boom! I ran out of screen with 3 panels left to go, so I gotta go pick up more screen. I've also got a lovely bag of trash here with me. That's from the screen porch job. I always take my trash with me. It's just how I do it. Next up, I've got to go by a regular customer's place and Try to fix the lights in the vent fan over the stove. I don't know if that's going to work out. I don't know what's up with those lights. But I also need to spec out a stair pad. They need kind of like a bigger stair in the garage. So do that job, and then I've got one more today, ripping out an old trash compactor. So this was really more of an addition to an existing stair in the garage. They just needed that stair to have a bigger landing. And I used my new battery-powered circular saw to cut everything out in the driveway. And man, I resisted buying that saw for a long time. Like way too long. I have one other one that's a little bit underpowered, but this thing has been awesome. And once I got the stairs busted out, they just need a single piece of outdoor carpet added to them, and I think that's going to be early this week. So after that job, I had a few minutes before I had scheduled that trash compactor gig I was telling you about. So I went back to our place and put up a solar street light out at the end of our driveway. Now someone was nice enough to actually send me this solar street light as a sample. I thought that was pretty cool. Just look at the light. It's got the LEDs down below, the old solar panel up above, and this is the power switch. So when it's on, then the light activated sensor thing kicks on, and when it's off. So yeah, that's it. And I installed it here at the end of the driveway. It's not super bright. It's not like a blinding street light, but it does make a sort of nice glowy kind of mellow light at the end of the driveway, and it's solar, so I didn't have to wire anything. Plus I probably broke like 3 or 4 laws screwing it into the light pole at the end of our driveway. But at least I didn't break a law of running extension cord from the house to the light. Looks pretty sweet. It's got a good look to it. I'll just have to wait till dark and check it out. Okay, so then was the trash compactor thing. It was a little bit jammed up in there, but even barefooted, I managed to yank it out and haul it back to my place, along with some van seats that I had picked up earlier in the day. That was kind of part of a Craigslist deal. The van seats have been on the truck all day, and first I hauled those things into the garage, and then I dragged the trash compactor in. The plan with the van seats is not totally clear. I might put them in the truck, maybe, or in the prison bus, because you know there aren't the best seats in the prison bus. But anyway, that's like for another day. All right, now I know what you're wondering about the trash compactor. This is the $1,000,000 question. Does it work? When I decommissioned it, it was unplugged, so we just need to plug it in. Alright. Okay, trash compactor's plugged in. Now, Melissa and I were talking about this earlier. You know, she had grandparents with a trash compactor, and I told her I had friends with a trash compactor. What's the deal with these things? They were so popular like in the 60s and 70s. Everyone wanted compacted trash. Now everyone wants to recycle their trash or whatever. Okay, it's really straight up. It's got the start stop button. Then in here, it's got kind of like a kill switch. This is off lock, and this is on. I don't know what this is. Maybe someone knows. I do know that you would use trash compactor bags in these babies. Anyway, I'm putting it on. It's closed. I'm hitting start. Ta-ha! It works! Trash compactor works. I'll have to fill it up with some garbage and see how compacted I can get it. That's awesome. I've always wanted a trash compactor. Whoa. Oh, it's getting serious. Okay, so I'm going to fill it up and see how it goes. Okay, there's a random array of recyclables, and here we go. Oh, come on. Alright, here's the stuff inside. It's not really that smashed. This has like a little dent in it. Maybe it's issue of volume, like once it's really full then it starts compacting. Once again, I don't know what this is, but it's really gross. It's got some kind of lever. Huh, I don't know. Okay, next was a skunk eradication project in which my role was to install a kind of underground prison cage bar thing around the perimeter of the deck. And it went in pretty simply, just kind of hammered in. And I guess the skunk had been trapped earlier in the week, so that wasn't really my problem. I just had to put in these bars and pound those in place to keep rodents and skunks and whatnot from like tunneling under the deck. And I should say this metal bar stuff is kind of cool, and I kind of want to fabricate my own version of it and use it back at our place in low spots around the fence where the dogs are likely to dig. Then after that was a garage repair job, which I had spec'd out earlier in the week. And it was pretty straight up, just the siding had been kind of torn off and ripped in places. And a few squirrels, not skunks this time, but squirrels, had been kind of like digging their way into the garage. So I replaced a bunch of wood, kind of got the soffit all sort of cleaned up and good to go. And then reattached some siding in some places, was able to reuse it. And then I also brought some along with me that I could cut and kind of put in place. So now the garage is sealed up for winter. All right, thanks for checking out my Handyman Diaries. Annals from the land of maintenance, repair, and trying to do things right. I've got to clean up some stuff in the shop. Tomorrow morning I have a painting job and I need to pull stuff out of the truck and put all the paint and gear inside. But before I do that, I just need to remind you that I am the only functioning shop, I think this is true, the only functioning shop with a trash compactor. All right, I'll see you in the next video.